Can we test audio?
I heard you, Terry.
Okay, I heard you too. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this online hearing of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Ottawa under the Planning Act. This video conference is also live streaming on YouTube. With me are my fellow panel members, Stephen Lewis, Terrence Otto, and Martin Mervort. My name is Fabien Poulin. I will be chairing this hearing today. The procedure for this hearing will be as follows. Listed on the agenda and appearing on the screen are the applications we will hear today. For the sake of efficiency, the committee may deal with agenda items in a different order. Committee members have reviewed the planning reports and any written submissions in support or opposition to each of the applications. Today, we'll hear oral submissions from any interested parties. Notice regarding minor variance applications, notwithstanding pre-consultation with city staff, is the responsibility of the applicant to identify all required variances accurately on the application to one, add a new variance or increase the extent of the variance requested. It must be given in accordance with the Planning Act and may require the application to be recirculated for the next hearing date at a cost to the applicant at the prescribed fee. If an applicant amends their plans with no impact to the variances or to reduce the variances requested, recirculation may not be required. As part of the statutory public notification requirements, each applicant was required to post a sign on their property and file a statutory declaration confirming the sign posting. This declaration must be on file today before we can hear the application. Without it, I may have to adjourn the application or administer an oath if necessary. Can the coordinator confirm that we have received all statutory declarations?
We have not received all statutory declarations.
I will then administer the oath to each applicant. The committee may ask for a brief presentation of the application, followed by questions from members and submissions from the public. Please address your comments to the chair, starting with your name and spelling it if necessary, and your municipal address for the record. The committee limits presentations to 5 minutes. Any exceptions will be at the chair's discretion. And before we begin, we have two items of business only one item of business to address today. Does any member present need to declare an interest in any of the applications that are before us today or that are on the agenda of another panel? We have no declarations of interest. We will now hear the application scheduled for this hearing, and we'll deal firstly with any items that may be adjourned. Is there anyone present wish to request an adjournment of any one of the applications? We do not have any adjournment requests. We have one item of new business that will be dealt with at the end of the hearing of the applications. That's having to do with 3588 Highway 17. It's a change of condition request. We'll do that at the end of our agenda. I'll move on to the first application. This application having to do with 2131 Divine Road. Mr. Jones, are you available? I see your name, Mr. Jones. I think you're muted. Good morning, Mr. Jones. I can see your name. It does not look like you're muted. There you are. I can see you. I can't hear you, sir. Are you there, Mr. Jones? If you're having difficulties, some instructions on the screen for you. Still cannot hear you.
Oh,
There you are. For a short time. No,
it's my connection.
there you go. You're on. I would like to administer an oath concerning the sign posting for your property, sir. Can you take that oath this morning?
I solemnly swear that my sign has been posted for 2 weeks.
I'll read it out to you and then you reply. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the notice provided by the committee was posted at the property to which the application applies for the prescribed number of days before the hearing as instructed and was clearly visible and legible during that time? Do you swear? Thank you, sir. Now, the panel notes that there are no concerns from the Conservation Authority. However, there is some comments to be made by the Planning Department. Mr. Harrigan, can I ask you to make some comments? Thank you.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, the planning department does have minor concerns with this application. This property was originally created by a plan of subdivision that was finalized in 2015. And at that time, the floodplain mapping hadn't been updated. So the floodplain mapping actually came after the subdivision was created. And then it was discovered that the floodplain does extend onto the property. The applicant has done an exceptional job coordinating efforts with the building permitting department and the conservation authority, such that they're going to be raising the grade to bring the house outside of the floodplain and then putting a retaining wall in there. So it'll be a minor modification to the floodplain boundary that will really allow the house to be built outside of the floodplain after the modifications are complete. They have provided an environmental impact statement to address the floodplain as well as the watercourse setback policies in there. And the planning department has reviewed it and is generally satisfied that no negative impacts will result. Our primary concern, or the only concern that we have, is just the lack of additional planting at this point. Just because there is that minor modification to the floodplain in the proximity to the watercourse, additional vegetation planting is highly recommended. There is about 17 meters between the retaining wall and the edge of the property line where the drain is, the water course is, and even adding just 2 meters of additional trees or bushes or anything will really help with water control, stormwater management, erosion control. And right now we are anticipating flooding to get worse just with climate change as the years and decades go by, and additional vegetation planting really will be a beneficiary. So it's really helped to protect this area as well as the property itself. So that's our only concern, is just we really strongly recommend any additional plantings that you can do. Just, I know there's a layer of trees right beside the drain, even just another row of trees there would help protect this property for the long term and also protect the water course. It's just really something that should be implemented, and we just noticed it was missing from the EIS. So that is our only concerns, is just we really recommend planting additional trees wherever you can.
Thank you, Mr. Harrigan. Any comments, Mr. Jones?
problem with adding more trees because I am right beside a farm field and there's a lot of wind that passes through that area. Having more trees will not hurt that that piece of land for me. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. I'd like to ask the panel for their comments. Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, I support the application. It's up. I think it's up to the applicant. You want to plant some trees, get her done. If you don't, whatever you want to do, it's your property. Support the application.
Thank you. Mr. Otto?
I support the application as presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vervoort?
Likewise.
Okay. I'd like to ask the panel for approval of this application. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Your application is approved, Mr. Jones. Thank you very much. Moving on to application number 2, having to do with 263 Ketchikan Crescent. Mr. Tran, are you available? I see Mr. Winters from Novatech.
Me as
Morning.
well, Mr. Chair.
I see Miranda Bernil. Are you the agent on this file today?
I am.
Okay, perfect. I would like to administer the oath concerning the sign posting on your property. Can you take this oath today?
I can.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the notice provided by the committee was posted at the property to which the application applies for the prescribed number of days before the hearing as instructed and was clearly visible and legible during that time.
I swear.
Thank you very much, man. I note the panel notes that there are no concerns from planning nor any concerns from the Conservation Authority. And, but I think I'd like to ask the Conservation Authority for their comments. There was one comment, but I think should be on the record. Is the Conservation Authority available?
I am. Unfortunately, I am not the planner for that file. The planner for that file is on holidays. If you give me a couple of minutes, I can look up our comments on that file. Have the roll number for the property, sorry.
I have the roll number, but I have the file number. It's D08-02-22.
08 dash, sorry.
Sorry, 08-22-22/A-00194.
Second.
Ms. Jolicoeur, if you're having some difficulty finding it, I have a summary of your comments. I just wanted to make sure that they were read into the record. Would you like me to read that summary?
Absolutely. I think that's what I would be doing anyways, since it is in my file.
Okay, thank you. So conservation has no objections. Portions of the rear is located adjacent to a provincially significant wetland. The MVCA has issued written permission. However, it has expired as of July 25th, 2021, and will need to be renewed before construction of the subdivision within the 120-meter adjacent lands of the provincially significant wetland. So that's what they wanted to make sure that you understood that from the beginning. So to that end, I'd like to ask the panel for approval of this application. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Your application is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Now we'll
you.
move on to the next Ketchikan property. It's 269 Ketchikan. And I believe Ms. Vernilo is the agent on file for this too. I will need to administer the oath concerning that application now. Oh, I just lost you. There you are. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I need to administer oath again. Are you able to take that oath?
I am.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the notice provided by the committee was posted at the property to which the application applies for the prescribed number of days before the hearing as instructed and was clearly visible and legible during that time. Do you swear?
I swear.
Thank you. So same comments from planning. They don't have any concerns, and Conservation Authority has the same comment on this property as I read into the last file. So to that end, I'd just like to jump right to the panel, ask them for approval of this application. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Your application is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now we're moving on to our last item today, and this is having to do with 3588 Highway 17. Ms. Winch, are you available? I see your name.
Mute. Hi, I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to administer an oath concerning a sign property for this, a sign
Sure.
posting for this property. Do you solemnly
Sure.
swear or affirm that the notice provided by the committee was posted at the property to which the application applies for the prescribed number of days before their hearing as instructed and was clearly visible and legible during that time?
I do.
Thank you. I note that there is one comment from our planning department, Mr. Harrigan.
Yes.
I'm asked, Mr. Harrigan, can you make those comments?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, the planning department actually has no comments for this. For this particular file, that this condition was not requested by the planning department. It doesn't have an impact on the conditions that we did request or our original position for this file. In regards to surveys, the only survey work related to it is condition number 2, which is a standard lot line addition. So regardless of the survey, the severed or the retained lands, we just still need a description of the severed lands, legal description of the severed lands that will merge on title with the recipient lands. But for this particular condition, we don't have any comments or concerns.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask panel for approval of this change of condition. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Your application is approved, Ms. Winch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That concludes our business for today. Thank you, everyone, for your help today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.